It's important to mention as well, because we've all said we're free all week. Realistically, every day we should be doing something little to head towards the
That's
finish
why I'm
line.
starting Monday.
So my name's Mason McGlynn, and my involvement is I'm the producer on this film, The Promise. Pre-production, I'd say it's like 50-50, but overall it's quite positive. One of the main issues is I've never done producing before, and going into it I didn't realise how much location planning was key to the role of producer. We have a potential dentistry office.
Right, okay.
That's in the Greenbank building, so it's close to location. You really have to be every single day hammering emails through to various people.
Hello, we need anything that looks hospital-like, potentially a dentistry office in the building. However, I have no way as a student, I believe, of checking out the specific rooms from the email I received from the Greenbank building. We'll take what we can get if anything's available at the time.
In terms of getting people together, I'd say I'm quite good at that, so I'd say that's been quite successful. I haven't had an issue where I felt like I've had to go harsh on someone who isn't pulling the weight, because everybody has pulled the weight very well.
I'd be fine today as long as everybody's comfortable, or at least understands what they need to work on for at least Monday.
But the main issue we ran into was the lighting dropped out about a couple of days in. At first that was quite not shocking, we kind of could see it coming, but it was quite it didn't. But I feel as a group we've recovered really well, and say today, because this is today the shoot of the first scene, it's really well the lighting is really nice.
Yeah, punched in on him. I want to see whether or not we've got, because on that one there we've got quite a few.
Overall, I'm just proud of the group. It's quite I won't say it's a complicated story, but I'd say it's quite an out there story for a student film. A lot of student films, especially this one, because we're running on a low budget, I'd say we've done quite well to get the locations. We've got 2 really good actors. We've got nice props, nice lighting. The spirit's been pretty good as well. We haven't had any fallouts on set, and I'd say that's really important. Even when people have dropped out or been late or whatever, it hasn't ever didn't the actual hook that we're heading on. I guess if there's anything I've learned from this experience, it's that from my role point as a producer, it's just very way more logistical than you think it would be. The person-to-person part's really important, socialising, making sure your cast and crew are happy. But really it feels there's a ton of behind the scenes work that a lot of people might just go unnoticed, which is fine because that's the role of the producer, but I'd say it's definitely a more interesting and active role than you might initially think it would be. What do I hope to achieve? Well, I guess because of my role as producer, my role is just kind of the glue of the group and just trying to hold the project together. So for me, the most important thing is that everybody's happy at the end of the project and they feel they've been involved.
Yeah, that's one thing I should say as well, because I'm producing. If anybody feels they're not sure what they're doing between now and the final day of production, always contact me, because I'll make sure you get back on the road.
I mean, even the script, the script read really easy. So
Yeah.
it's a first time script as well, and that makes our job 10 times easier, doesn't
yeah.
it? So
My name is Miracle. I've been the script writer and in charge of sound throughout the project.
Sound rolling.
I wanted to see how I could successfully portray my ideas from my head onto paper and see them displayed on screen.
How long since last time you came?
It doesn't matter, don't think about it.
Tell me!
Well, this whole story came from me, so yeah, I'm proud of that. The sound equipment, I had never used them, and I could take some time to really learn what I was doing.
Miracles just didn't have enough hands to carry the zoom and the boom, so I'm carrying the zoom for him.
If you look in Drew's bag, he's got a Gucci scarf. You've been framed, falls over right now. Director gone.
Do you feel you've learned anything in particular?
Not really.
Anything you have to say in
Oh,
particular that...
nah,
Who have you worked closest with?
no one. I work with myself.
Who in your group have you been most impressed with?
No one.
You've all got really creative ideas,
yeah, I've seen a little bit of the edit as well. Louis done bits on that.
I'm Louis Collins and I'm the main editor for The Promise. It's going smooth so far. It's taken a while to actually get all of the footage on the computer, but once that's done it's going a lot quicker than expected. And then so it's 4:30 now. We're in the edit suite we're in the open access suite for another hour and a half, and then we've got one of the edit suites in the media factory from 6 onwards. What I'm really proud of is the quality of all of the images that I've got to edit, and then I feel once I've finished editing it, what I'll be most proud of is the final product. This is my first large video with a large crew, and so I've learnt a lot on the process and how it all works.
Is that tripod? That's put on backwards.
It's what?
I think that's backwards, isn't it?
My biggest issue, I would say, is probably making sure that everyone's got an equal workload. I feel like some people in the group have worked a lot more than others in the group. Myself included, I feel like I haven't worked as much on set as other people in my group. The most surprising thing was how easy and efficient it was on set. Even though shooting took a long time, none of the shots took more than 4 takes, which I was pleasantly surprised by. Scene 6, take 1. The most daunting thing for me, I would say, is making sure that I fulfill my role properly, and making sure that as editor I don't compromise on the quality of the final product that we've all worked hard on. Someone that I did help was Rosie, but Rosie made sure that all the props, so there's one scene with the when he enters her memory and they're wearing the helmets, Rosie handmade them herself, and they look like a high budget science fiction prop.
Just everything that's been handled, like from all of you, like costume, set.
So my name's Rosie Barty, and my role on the film technically is production designer, but I have been helping with lighting and sound as well. I think it's alright now.
Right, it's alright now.
Good to go? Yeah. To be honest, I was quite excited about making a sci-fi because I've actually never made a sci-fi before. The thing I'm probably proudest of, like physically, is the headsets that I've made. So it's the first time I've ever made something like that, like prop-wise. So getting to do that was pretty fun. I mean, it's not the best, and I've definitely learned a lot from doing that. So hopefully, if I ever have to do that again in the future, they'll be better. What I hope to achieve from the film is just basically more learning experience of like being on set and hopefully getting to network with a few actors, but also learning more about actually doing production design.
Just hope this looks right once we've done it.
It looks pretty good. I think it looks well cool.
And again, just learning skills in other areas. Like I said, I was helping with lighting and sound, so it's always good to boost up your skills in other areas so you can be helpful. Trying to better myself and to work with more people as well, because on this I'm working with other people that I haven't worked with before, so it's nice to see how my dynamic changes with them. And I feel like I'm getting along with Mason a lot more and John as well, so like I already know Steve a bit, but getting to talk to them and to learn more about them and them learn more about me is quite good.
After this scene's done, I think it's three or two other scenes. One's definitely on a bridge, but we kind of want to capture that in golden hour, so we have some nice natural lighting.
I feel like the team, we work well together. I know we've had issues like for our futuristic, like dystopian type scene, we've had a lot of issues with location. And I think what we've managed to do, like pulling off, like transforming 209 pretty much into like our futuristic scene, I think that shows that our team works pretty strong.
And cut.
Yeah, I definitely feel that my team listens to me and my input. Like obviously I was doing costume stuff, so that's quite important for like our sci-fi film. And set as well, which is quite important. I feel like people take my ideas into consideration. And even for some shots, I was talking to John about, like, oh, maybe we should do it this way, and he listened, so it's quite good, yeah.
Well, it's almost 4, and that's when we were going to be finishing, so not good. I think we were like 2 hours behind schedule, maybe. But you know, we'll be fine, we'll get it done.
I guess I'm proudest of that. I have been talking to everyone in my team and trying to be more involved. Like, I'm usually involved anyway, but I'm usually the quiet one, so getting to push myself to speak up and like be listened to, I guess, is another achievement, I would say. We were behind shoot a little bit on our first day, but it got all sorted, and by the time we got to our second location, everything ran smoothly, so that was good. We kind of learned from our mistakes. I think we've represented sci-fi well, and we've done what's been asked of us, if that makes sense.
Stephen's been really helpful, John as well, just with everything.
I'm the cinematographer. I'm Jonathan Farrow, and I'm cinematographer for this project. That's fair. There you go. It's been really interesting so far. So I've done test lists, test shots, which went really well. I'll try and make the film look as good as possible, I guess. And obviously doing the test shoots, just because I can imagine in my head, obviously what's going on the shoot and how like the final product might look. But the shoot with the actors will be fun.
I think I've really enjoyed it. I think it's been a whole new experience for me. I'd say it's professional due to like the camera work we've been using. Steve, Mason, Rosie, Miracle, Louis have all been really, really professional. And it's made my life a lot easier. I think it's been brilliant.
Right there, that's it.
I think I was a bit nervous to do cinematography. I used to do it before this, but obviously this is a whole new ball game. This is making a movie. We're moving on to the next shot in Avon Park. It's the last day of shoot. And I think we just planned out where we're going to film, really.
Drew, turn to me as well, please. Sorry, mate.
I think I've done quite well, actually. I've had a lot of guidance as well, which has been great. I've overcome the fear a bit, I think. It's been really nice. It's felt quite smooth. I think I've done quite well.
Let me just see, hang on.
I'm really proud of some of the shots I've took. I'm looking forward to see it on the big screen.
So we're going to get almost an extreme close-up shot of her face, just looking out into the distance.
Louis is a great editor, and I'm just there for, obviously, just reassurance if he needs any help or anything. I have added some things in, so like some of the effects that you'll see in the final cut, but I think we're in really good hands with Louis. And actually, no, I know we're in really good hands with Louis.
We need a bit closer, I think.
A bit closer.
No, like the camera.
Oh, right, okay.
Drew and Anna have been brilliant to work with. They've been absolutely brilliant. They've just been great actors, and they've been a laugh on set as well, which is really nice. They've been really nice to all the other people as well on set, like the behind the scenes crew. Hopefully work again with them in the future.
Okay, great.
I think I've overcome a challenge of listening to new things and broadening my mind a bit on how I can do things, how I can create new shots. I've had suggestions from other people and it's worked out really well. So hopefully that goes into the final edit. That was my biggest challenge, like trying to listen to other people. Now I've overcome it, and I think one straightforward and Drew walking into shot. Due to the fact he's director, so me and him are always talking, rewriting parts of the script as well, suggesting like ideas for different shots. Like I've been giving him directing tips as well. We've both listened to each other. I think it's been a great dynamic. We've worked really, really well.
It's always a pleasure to work with Steve as a director because I've worked with him a couple of times before, and you know he helps me through it as an actor. Like it's nice to have a director like that.
Okay, my name's Steve Bird, and I was director and casting director for The Promise, and I also pitched in with a bit of anything that anybody needed. The main thing was to put a real touch of reality and feeling into the characters and to make them believable, and to portray that they are really so much in love that this guy will do anything. He's willing to risk his life at the end of this by keep on jumping in and out of her reality, which has a detrimental effect to his health. So. I think I've learned that it's a much more difficult job as director than people give credit for. I'm gonna kill somebody today. Rosie in particular really stepped up as soon as we got the basic idea to her and started thinking about what she could do to make the set look as futuristic as possible. Obviously Mason then has started pulling together the meetings, so he's done a lot of background work, he's looked for all the places to film, he's made contacts, he's made sure that everybody's pulled together. Jonathan obviously hadn't used Blackmagic camera before, he stepped into that role, and the shots that he's got, I seriously couldn't be more happy with. So we've got this as an option for John, our cinematographer, because we are actually running a 2-camera shoot. So like I've said to John, I'm not precious, I know it's my baby, but I'm not precious, I'm pretty sure he can use it, and the more of us that do within the group, the better it's going to be when we move on to year 2 and year 3, because we're already going to be used to using kit like this. Yeah, the ability for me and the cinematographer to talk very, very closely together, and him not be offended by me making suggestions and me not being offended, because that's, you know, it's a cinematographer's job. Sometimes he's got to question the director and go, is this right? Are you really sure you want this? Because I don't think it's going to look right, and that's absolutely fine. Louis has been brilliant as well. He has stepped in time and time again. Anything at all that's needed doing, he steps in, he's worked his guts off. He's here now at 12:15 in the editing suite, still beavering away. So I've been, overall been really, really pleased with the entire team. It has been a really good process. I've really enjoyed the process. It's hard work. We all know that in a small crew that you're going to end up with some people that aren't available at certain times for whatever reason, and you've got to roll with that. You know, somebody could be ill, a family member, something could happen to them. It could just be that, I don't know, the dog being run over. Whatever, you've got to roll with it. You've got to be ready to step up and take on those extra responsibilities as well. We've just finished wrapping on our second day filming, which has been our wonderful lab scene. Rosie had obviously come up with the concept for this. This is our third choice, so we've been through the ringer a bit. Mason's done everything possible to get our first two choices, but it just wasn't to be. The actors, yet again, have been absolutely amazing. The guys, can't recommend them highly enough to anybody else. But you're not nicking them above me, because the mine. The proudest thing for me will be the way in which the actors worked and how they received the instructions.
Yeah, it's been a lovely experience. It's been a lovely, enjoyable experience. It's been run like so professionally, hasn't it? Like we've been put at ease. Like working with this crew's been amazing.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
Let's walk out.
Woo!
Hey!
Hey!
Oh, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Oh, bless her. Thank you.